pilot and it didn't get picked up.
Mm-hmm.
He actually created the show for her.
Interesting. And sort of a wrap-up question. What would you like your own legacy to be? How do you want us to remember Michael Boogaloo Shrimp Chambers?
That I was a pioneer of the art of popping, and street dancing. One of many who took it from just battling on the streets and opened up doors to have the style, respected in the industry. I mean, what my whole perception of when I started working and understanding my responsibility as being a leader, and once I got on filming in the industry, I made a conscious decision to try to take work where it would really highlight the style of dance, and that's what led me into special effects and the robotics. And I hope that people will remember my contribution to other artists and other great dancers, whether they were directly or indirectly. I mean, Michael Jackson was he was really the only vehicle that really showed my work as far as what a student could do with my dance form. But there's other dancers that are popular now. They don't give me credit, but I mean, I know that they've had to have seen my work, and I just hope, I'm not trying to be an egomaniac, but I just hope that the new dancers that pop and get notoriety and they do new ventures, that they mention my name and what they learned from me, because what was brought up to me a few years back, I thought it was the biggest, it was the most wonderful credit that somebody gave me. They said that matter of fact, it was one of the background dancers who was in Breaking 2, who left the business and went out to different schools and talked about, different artists and their contribution to styles. He said one of the things he brought up in speaking about popping, he said my contribution to the art that people don't know was that I brought personality to the dance. And I said, well, that's interesting. I never thought about that. He said, before I came on the scene, a lot of dancers were kind of stone-faced and they were really good, and they had a lot more moves than I. But he said one of the things that inspired a lot of people to like my style versus, the other dancers that were out at the time is I gave them the idea to be a showman, and have personality. And I thought that was kind of a cool endearment, because when I look at my work, I could see I was having fun. Not only was I dancing, but my personality, was coming out, and I was being like a showman. So I want to be remembered. I want to be remembered as being an innovative soloist, and somebody who took, my dance skill to become a soloist and not just be somebody who danced with a group or whatever, but to be a strong soloist.
Are there any current artists, rappers, singers, etc., that are your favorites that you enjoy?
For me, I enjoy Justin Timberlake. I mean, I was really impressed with his video. I like I Love You, where he danced. I mean, I like his dancing, and I like what he's done with his career. But I never really got heavy into the rap scene, because most of the artists that I started off with, if you look at my resume, I went from Lionel Richie to Shaka Khan to the Gap Band to Michael Jackson, to breaking, and none of the artists that I worked with were rappers.
Right.
Everybody was different. So, when the rapping became a part of hip hop, that was more associated to me with b-boying, with what was happening in New York, with the whole b-boy scene. So, to see the rappers today that are coming out, I mean, I listen to it, and I appreciate the music, but people like Missy Elliott, she was really on a roll
Mm-hmm.
with employing street dancers and having music that the dancers can dance to, you know. So, you know, I other than that, you know, there hasn't really been too many people that have caught my attention. Genuine, the R&B singer Genuine,
Mm-hmm.
he did a whole rendition of my broom number.
Oh, I haven't seen that.
My broom dance from the film.
Mm-hmm.
If you go on YouTube and you type in Genuine,
Mm-hmm.
the song is called None of Your Business. It's called None of Your Business.
Mm-hmm.
And he, in his music video, he does, towards the end, he does the whole scene. He comes out of the store. He does my whole broom dance.
Oh my goodness! I gotta watch that.
And when he did the video, I met him after that,
Mm-hmm.
and he said, "Man, that was my tribute to you." He said you deserved it, and I thought that was really nice because a lot of these young guys like Usher and a lot of the dancers, they've seen my style, but you know, of course, whether it be ego or whatnot, you know, like we go back to that whole innovator and I'm the best attitude thing, you know, these artists have, you know, it's kind of hard to say, you know what, I really looked up to this guy, you know, and I was influenced by this guy, you know. People, that's the whole thing about Hollywood, you know, they want to make sure that the public thinks that they're the hot person, you know, and so sometimes we get rubbed out of credit or people don't want to share their influences, but I try to let people know who I was influenced by, just because I know how it feels. I know how it feels if some artists say, "Hey, you know what? You didn't mention my name. What's wrong with you? You know, how come you weren't? You know, how come you didn't say anything? You know?"
Right. Indeed. Well, thank you, Michael Chambers, for your time and for answering very honestly and openly all of the questions that I had for you today. The dance world and the hip-hop community can really benefit from what you've told us, and we will use this interview as a primary source for hip-hop knowledge and dance knowledge and even American history for years to come. Thank you very much.